Behold, I shall be a blight upon the land, and everything I touch shall wither and die. Batman.
And who are you, Sunshine?
Blight will do.
Take my path, never lost, in ruthless pain, always rain. Silent sound, stalking ground, cemetery run, I'm rising on.
Hey guys, so Lloyd here, back again with another review. Today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Blight. He is part of the Target exclusive, Joker Bot Collectible figure wave. And he is the final figure in this wave, the final figure. And he comes with these very crazy Widowmaker-esque robotic bat wings for the Joker Bot Build-A-Figure. They plug right into his back here. They're articulated pretty well, too. They got the ball hinge there that moves up and down, in and out. He's got a swivel there. And then this hinges here. And then the two kind of claw bits hinge independently there. And that's it. You don't get anything here, throughout the wing, really. But to give you a quick idea of how tall this thing is, I mean, this is a massive... It's a pretty tall figure. So stay tuned for that. I'll have that review coming up tomorrow, most likely. Spoiler alert, I think that's probably my favorite collectible we've gotten from the Todd Father thus far. Which unfortunately isn't saying much, because the Bane, while it was cool, the legs sucked. The Dark Father, while cool, was a little generic. The Merciless, while cool, not the best constructed. And then... that's it, isn't it? And then the Joker Bot's probably the best one so far. Still, I think the legs could use a little bit of work. We need a snap when you pop the legs in. Much like the shoulders, the legs need to snap in. I'm thinking maybe in the future, because my Redeemer from the Spawn Universe line actually comes apart there, they have it connect at the hip instead of where the thigh rotation would normally be. While I do like the thigh rotation, I'd rather the legs stay on the figure as opposed to have another articulation point that I'm more than likely not even going to use. But getting into the meat and taters, this video is about Blight, not all that jargon. He does come with an alternate skeleton, and yeah, and it's translucent green with some creepy fingers and whatnot, so that's cool. That's it. He gets one hand, much like Shriek got one blast effect. Then you also get the Collectible trading card, standard with the Multiverse line. On the back is a bio for Blight. Blight is responsible for the death of Terry McGinnis' father, for those of you who don't remember the 90s animated series. And he is basically Batman Beyond's arch nemesis. So, getting up close and personal with Blight here. You can take the stand and chuck it to the side. He can stand okay without it. But, you know, of course he's going to stand better with it. But this guy's really cool looking, man. I was really looking forward to this figure, and I gotta say, he met most of my expectations. I think his arms are a little scrawny, though. I know he's a skeleton. In an energy suit, or an energy skeleton, no less. In an energy suit, or a power suit, or whatever you want to call this. But at the end of the day, look at the size of his legs compared to the size of his arms. They seem a bit scrawny, and maybe even a tad short. That is my only gripe with this figure. I think the arms could have been just bigger. I think they would have benefited from being just a little bigger. I think his hand should be like down here, where my finger is, should end here, and his arm should be like maybe not even a quarter as thick, maybe a tenth as thick as they are. I don't know. Just take the same sculpt and make it just a smidge bigger, and I think he would be perfect. Dang near perfect. The feet are a little cumbersome to work with, but not the case with all these. But look at that head, man. Looks like the Jolly Green Giant's penis. But he's got the green dome head, which you can actually take out really easy. And then you got a skeleton neck in there. I'm not sure if that's supposed to move or not, but it is there. It does exist. So there you go. You can plop this right back in. It just kind of slides in and out. It's not a whole lot of effort. It doesn't fall out, but there's no real snap of satisfaction. So, you know, that's whatever. That said, they did manage to give you a ball joint articulation out of the thing. So that's pretty cool. You can rotate side to side, no problem. Look up and down a smidge. Even a little bit of tilt in there. So I'm quite impressed by that. Those of you who remember the Cosmic Ghost Rider from Marvel Legends last year, you had to take the dome off to get the head to move at all. And this guy, the head is just sculpted on the inside of the dome. A little bit tricky to see, but you could see it with the right lighting. Yeah, it's not too shabby. I really dig that. His shoulders go out to the side. They are very loose. I mean, there's no ratchet in there at all, but they do maintain their pose. They do rotate. He does have that butterfly joint that actually works pretty well on this figure. He's got a bicep swivel. He's got a double joint at the elbow that works pretty good. Because his arms are so scrawny. Very, very gappy, though. That doesn't bug me too much because most of my figures stand straight anyways, but something to note. His wrists are on the ball hinges. They move in and out, forward and back. He's got rotation there and there. Standard stuff. I will say this hand is a little bit tighter than most interchangeable hands on a McFarlane figure, so maybe heat that up first before you monkey with it the first time. Diaphragm, of course, moves back. Doesn't move forward, but this guy's a valid excuse because you got this big rubber flap in the front, so I'll let that slide. He does have a little bit of forward in the waist, though, and a little bit of back. He does have rotation in both the waist and the torso, or the upper torso there, and some tilt. So you get a lot of range out of the torso, or a decent amount of range out of the torso, but it's not great. Hips kick forward. They do kick back a little bit. They kick out to the side. He does have a thigh cut worth mentioning, so that's cool. Double joint at the knee. Really stiff on this guy, but they do work. You can hear that. And then he has the ball hinges in the feet, which could be better, to be honest with you. They do rotate. He's got the rocker, and then he has the toe joint. Toe joints aren't bad on this guy. Toe joints are okay. And he's got pickles at the bottom of the feet. A little tricky to stand sometimes, but it can be done. They will be done. I guess if you wanted to, you could shift the shoulders down, and then his wrists would be where I would prefer them to be, but then he's got really, really kind of slouched shoulders, and that doesn't look great. It's just the Shriek figure had like the best kind of proportions, I think, out of it. The two villains in this line, not naming the Build-A-Figure, or the Collectible, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I will say this leg seems to be kicked inside a bit. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just the waist is turned or something, but there you go. There is good old Blight. Cool figure, man. I dig him. But with that being said, let's take a look at some comparisons. First up, here is good old Blight next to the rest of the Collectible Joker bot wave that I've already reviewed. We got Batman Beyond, good old Shriek, and good old Batwoman Beyond. And for your Batman Beyond animated comparison here. Here is the variant Batman Beyond, the standard release, I should say, with the facial features of good old Terry McGinnis. Shout out to Toy Shiz for hooking me up with that one. But yeah, I gotta say, it's really cool to see some new Batman Beyond stuff. Batman Beyond is a really awesome show, and I think kind of underrated, to be honest with you. I don't know, I'm just stoked that we're getting some other characters. I would like to see some more like an actual ink, not just the Batman Beyond with the blue bat symbol and whatnot, which I didn't pick up. I kind of wish I did, but you know, it's neither here nor there, and can't have everything, right? I would like a Spellbinder, though. He's like the one character I'd really like to have, but I digress. Up next, here he is, next to a couple other bubble helmet boneheads. We have the Funko Pop Space Kook, Kooky Space Kook, that is, from Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Because God forbid we get an actual action figure of that guy, whether it's figures, toy, or people who made the little figures that Walmart had for the, 50th anniversary of Scooby-Doo a couple years ago? I don't know, there was a Headless Horseman, the Black Knight, and whatnot. You know what I mean. They're like 5-inch or whatever. Not the most articulated things, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. I think there is a Playmobil Space Kook, which I wasn't cool enough to find in the case because, well, I guess they don't ship full sets in cases, which is kind of stupid. And then there's an Imaginext one, which I also never saw because, oh yeah, Mattel and their crappy distribution. But other than that, we also have the Hasbro Marvel Legends Cosmic Ghost Rider, which was much easier to get than any of the Space Kook crap I just mentioned, which is kind of funny. I think Cosmic Ghost Rider is a little cooler, but I guess there is a massive cult following for Space Kook. I don't know. All I know is I lucked out and got the Funko Pop soda of him, so I'm looking forward to getting that sometime soon. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the 11th Spawn, who is neck and neck with Blight, and if Blight worked out more and had some thicker arms, might actually be a good enough match for Spawn. But let's face it, Al Simmons is going to kick his butt. With that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and while I do really like this figure and think he is an awesome addition to this Batman Beyond lineup, I think his arms are a little bit scrawny. Considering the fact that he is in an armored suit, I think the arms could have benefited from being a tad bit bulkier. Thus, I still think that good old Shriek is my favorite figure in this lineup. But let me know what you guys think of that in the comments below. So, with that being said, if you are interested in adding another rogue to your Batman Beyond Rogues gallery, or completing the Future's End Joker Bot Collectible figure, then I would highly recommend you pick this guy up, but pick him up soon. He is a Target exclusive. Not sure how long he's going to hang around. My guess, not as long as the Batwoman Beyond figure has. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you are so inclined, please hit that notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one, because we got to show that algorithm who's boss, right? And if you haven't already, hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.